I'm really trying to ask, like, what is going on now? Like, something is seriously wrong. What is going on? And this is where she first starts really talking, and where now she's making these demands for just a substantial amount of money that there's no way that I could pay her. And I'm telling her this, like, I can't get you this kind of money. Like, I don't have this kind of money. I'm paying you what I can. I'm sending you what I can. I can't pay this. And then at this point, this is where she's saying, or now threatening, that then, oh, if I can't pay her, then she's going to say that I kidnapped Elowin from Minnesota without her permission, and that she was going to call the cops and have me arrested, and that then I would never see the kids again.
And just to be clear, had you kidnapped Elowin from Minnesota without Caytlyn's permission?
No.
And what are you thinking at this point that you're hearing these threats?
So at this point, I think the best way to describe this, I think, is in like a Marine Corps color code system. So it's like a situational awareness, like an internal radar system, but to where just naturally, just a normal person would just be in white. Like, their radar is off. They're not, like, you're walking into a restaurant and you're not concerned with, like, you're not thinking about threats. You're thinking about, like, what's there to eat. But I think combat vets, probably police officers, I think can say the same thing, that they're probably going into a restaurant and they're just kind of aware of maybe suspicious people or suspicious things that are around, or they want to sit in a corner booth or with their backs against the wall so that they can visually see things. So that's just a natural yellow, like your radar is on a natural yellow.
And what is your radar on most of the time?
Yellow. So I'm constantly on yellow.
And at this point, as Caytlyn is making these threats, what does your internal radar do?
So now at this point, I'm in orange, which
orange?
is, so I'm now seeing a potential threat. I'm seeing my child being restrained to where I can't get to her. I'm thinking of all the suspicious stuff that has been happening about how there's some sort of plan going on, but I don't know about what's happening. And now and with these threats now and her not leaving, like, something is seriously wrong, something is seriously happening. And with her now holding Elowin hostage and making these demands, my radar's on. It's on orange. I'm seeing a potential threat, and now I'm observing what else is going on. So at this point, this is where I'm thinking, okay, weapons. Okay, my desk, or my gun is on my desk next to the couch. I'm thinking of the knives that are behind me. I'm thinking of the doorways, like the front door is behind me. I'm thinking, is it locked? I think it is. The front door, or the door that's in front of me, is the back door towards the garage. And I'm thinking, okay, that door I think is unlocked. I'm conscious of, oh, she's been sitting on her phone. Is she texting someone? Are people coming to the house? Because I don't know what's going on. She's on her phone. Is people coming to the house? And that's why she doesn't want to leave. So now I'm thinking, I'm conscious of, like, the windows. Are there lights shining in the windows? Like, is someone pulling up? Are there car doors shutting? Are there people talking outside? I'm just listening for all this stuff. It's just this heightened sense, this situational awareness, where I'm just in a heightened state trying to figure out just everything that's going on.
And what do you do while you're in this heightened state? What do you ask Caytlyn?
So I'm now, again, I'm just trying to say, hey, just let Elowin go. Like, really just let Elowin go, and trying to figure out, like, what is going on. And again, she's just talking about these, like, how she wants money. And, oh, if I can't pay her this money, then I need to sell my car and give her the money from my car. And again, I'm trying to explain, like, I can't do this. I'm sending her what I can. I can't send her this money. And then she just continually threats that, okay, then you're never going to see the girls again.
She tells you you're never going to see the girls again?
Yes.
And what was she doing while she was telling you she's going to take your girls and you'll never see them again?
She's holding Elowen hostage in front of me, using her as leverage to try to get what she wanted.
What are your daughters doing at this point?
So Elowen's crying, and this is why I'm saying, like, Elowen, like, she's smart. She knows when something wrong is happening. So she's crying already. Vaylin's crying. She's in the hallway, and I can't specifically see her. Like, at this point, too, I can't take my eyes off of Elowen or Caytlyn. And, like, I don't even want to go into the kitchen to check on Vaylin. Like, I can't just take my eyes off of them. This potential threat, I can't go over there and check on Vaylin. So that's stressing me out, too, of Vaylin crying in the hallway. It's just adding to the stress.
So what do you do?
So at this point, I'm saying again, just let Elowen go. And I try to grab Elowen again. And at this point, again, now I'm trying harder to get her. So now Caytlyn is trying harder to keep her away from me. So again, she's pulling Elowen in tight and yanking her away from me. And so again, I back up because I don't want Elowen to get hurt in this situation.
And what do you do after the second time you try unsuccessfully to get Elowen out of this situation?
So at this point, and this is when I'm talking about the point that I'm yelling. At this point, I am yelling. I'm yelling like, what the hell do you want? I'm just screaming like, what the hell do you want? What is going on? Like, let Elowen go. And she's refusing to do it. She's just saying no, like, I need to pay her. And again, if I wasn't doing that, then I was never going to see the girls again.
And what was Caytlyn doing? You've said what she was saying, but how is she holding Elowen at this point?
So she's still got her at this point, still one arm, like maybe the other arm is like on her hand or something. Like, this isn't full bear hug. This is like one arm around her chest, but yes.
And what is going through your mind?
So I'm trying to figure out what to do. Just with everything that's going on, I'm trying to figure out, like, how can I get Elowen out of this situation? And I'm just pleading, like, please just let Elowen go. Just please let her go. And at this point, she's not responding. And to her phone, I'm noticing to her phone, because her phone was sitting down on the couch at this point, but it was on the couch and it was flashing, like white flashes, like she's getting texts or something like that. So again, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. All I'm thinking of is I need to get Elowen out of this situation, just getting out of here.
And you had said earlier that what was going through your mind was that Caytlyn had kidnapped Vaylin before.
Yes.
Overall,
What's different this time?
I mean, the big difference is because she's literally holding Elowen hostage in front of me. She's using her as leverage to try and get what she wants.
And what are you saying at this point?
Again, I'm just pleading for her to just let Elowen go. And yeah, she's just not, at this point, she's just not responding to me anymore.
What do you do next?
So this is when I try to make this final attempt to get Elowen. So my thought is, okay, I'll try to grab like Caytlyn's wrist that's across Elwyn. I'll try to grab her wrist. I'll try to get behind Elwyn's back to pull her away, to like simultaneously pull her arm and pull her away. So when I attempt this, when I try to do this, then that's when Caytlyn goes full bear hug. She's then squeezing Elwyn harder. She's yanking her away, like twisting her body and yanking her away from me. And two, she's putting her right foot up on the table. So her knee is up, and so Elwyn, being straddled on her leg, she puts her knee up, braces it on the table, and is also using her leg to pull Elwyn back away from me. And just the big thing that happened here is Elwyn screaming, Elwyn yelling. And that was the point to where, again, I let go after Elwyn's scream. And I'm locking eyes with Elwyn, and she's crying. She just let out this scream, and this is where, when I'm talking about the line was crossed, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Elwyn now physically being hurt in front of me. And that was the line.
And what's going through your mind at this point when you've locked eyes with Elwyn and you can see that she's been hurt?
So then this is probably the best way to describe this, again, is through this system, this color system, to where now I'm going from orange to red, to where I see an immediate danger. I'm seeing an immediate threat to Elwyn, and I have to take action immediately to save Elwyn. And that's really what's going through my head. The single thing of, I have to get Elwyn out of this situation immediately.
What do you do?
So this is where I'm talking about, to where I say it's like, it was like muscle memory. It was like training coming out, to where I didn't have to think about what was happening. It was like I was trained for this, and this is what I'm supposed to do. But I take then, and this is also, again, this is, like I said, it was really, really fast. The entire thing probably took like 3 to 5 seconds max. I take the 2 steps over, grab the gun. As I'm taking probably the 3 steps back over, I'm chambering around into the gun. I grab Elwyn by the shirt collar, the front of her shirt collar. I pull her forward, not to me. I pull her forward to get some sort of distance between her and Caytlyn. Pull her forward, and then fire.
Is Elwyn still in Caytlyn's arms when you shoot?
Yes.
What happens after you fire?
So immediately after I shoot, so I'm holding Elwyn by the collar. She's, again, Caytlyn is still bear hugging Elwyn at this point, but the moment I shoot, that's when Caytlyn releases. I pull Elwyn fully into me, and I immediately run out the door and run to my car.
After you run to your car, what do you do?
So once I'm in the car, this is when, again, the very first thing I'm thinking of is I need to make sure that Elwyn is okay. So we sit down in the car, and I'm just checking her over, like physically, to make sure that there is nothing wrong with her, that there's no physical injuries wrong with her. I'm like checking through her hair to make sure that there's just nothing wrong. And there wasn't, but all she's complaining about is she's covering her ears and saying loud, loud. But she's still responding to me. I know she can still hear me, but she's just complaining that it was loud. And as I'm checking her over, I'm not seeing anything physically wrong with her. There's also nothing on her. So I'm making sure that she was okay, and she was physically okay.
Once you make sure that Ellen is physically okay, what happens next?
So at this point, this is when I said this, to where this is when I realized what had happened, to where, like, consciously I'm realizing this wasn't just someone that I shot. This was Caytlyn. This was someone that I cared about, who was important to me and my family and my kids. This wasn't just some random person. And I immediately felt horrible. And I didn't understand what was going on. Like, why was this happening? What just happened? Why was this happening? I didn't understand it. So at this point, I'm just trying to figure out what am I supposed to do? I didn't know what I was supposed to do at this point. I'm not thinking I'm not thinking, oh, I'm justified actually because of XYZ. I'm thinking, no, I just shot someone that is not just a random person. This was Caytlyn. I didn't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do. And this is again to when just sort of basic instinct is coming out, to where I'm thinking, well, I need to make sure that my kids are okay. So I'm thinking, okay, Ellen is physically okay, but I need to make sure that she's mentally okay too. I need to, because again, I don't know who she was texting, if people were coming to the house. I didn't know what was going on. I wanted to get out of the immediate area first. And I wanted to spend time with the girls to make sure that they were mentally okay. So at this point, this is where I'm literally running into the house, just grabbing necessities. I'm like, okay, I'm just grabbing clothes. I'm grabbing blanket. I'm grabbing a pillow. I'm like grabbing food, water. I'm just grabbing necessities to just bring back to the car. This all probably took maybe 5 minutes total as I'm just running in the house and just grabbing things. I know, I grabbed my computer and my hard drive. I guess it was because, okay, my computer is my life outside of my kids. Like, this is where I do all my work. Like, my hard drive, literally the only thing that's on my hard drive is all backups of my work. So I guess I'm just thinking like, oh, well, this is a necessity. I just have to grab it. So I just grab it. And as I put all this stuff in the car, then immediately take off after that probably took like 5 minutes.
Did you turn out the lights and deadbolt the door?
I mean, I guess. I don't consciously remember doing it, but I guess it makes sense because that's just what I would normally do. Like, hey, I'm leaving the house. I'm turning off the lights. I'm locking the door. I mean, deadbolting the door. I don't even think I had the key to the actual doorknob. I think the only key I had was for the deadbolt. So I guess it was just something natural that I would do as I'm leaving the house, is just turn off the lights and lock the door.
And so, have you also put Valen in the car at this point?
Yeah, yes. Valen's in the car as well, yes. If it's not obvious, she was the very first thing I went and got from the house, yes.
And what did you do next once you had packed up the car?
So at this point, I immediately got I got out of the immediate area. And Elwyn and Valen, they both fell asleep pretty much immediately once I started driving. So I just kept going. I just kept driving. Eventually, I got to Concord, and to where they're both awake at this point. And I wanted to, again, make sure that they were mentally okay. So I park, I think this was at like a CVS or a Walgreens or something. I park in a parking lot. And I sit down with them. I'm talking with them. I'm just making sure they're okay. I'm not talking about what just happened. I'm just asking if things are okay. And talking to Elwyn specifically, I knew Valen was her same old happy self, so I wasn't worried about Valen. And she wasn't even in the room when this was going on. But Elwyn, I'm talking to Elwyn, and she seemed good. She kept saying, like, I'm okay, Dad, I'm okay. And so at this point, now I'm thinking too, okay, well, I haven't received any texts from anyone. I don't know. Again, I don't know if people were coming to the house. I haven't heard anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if anyone knew that what had happened. So I'm thinking I have to tell somebody. So at this point, I do three things. First I make a video just showing that we're all okay, that Elwyn and Valen specifically, that they're happy and that they're okay. So I just record a video. I'm telling Elwyn that I love her, and she's saying, I love you too, Dad, and I'm hugging her. And then Valen, I'm saying I love Valen, and Elwyn says, oh, I love you too, Valen, and we're just hugging and just making a recording showing that we're okay and we're happy, and that we're okay. And then I send that to my parents. The second thing I do, because I was already thinking this before I had called my parents, but I was thinking again, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was the right thing to do in this moment. And I didn't understand what was even happening at this point. What had happened, like the why, the what, but anyways, so I'm thinking, okay, I still want to spend more time with the girls. I want to, again, just make sure that specifically Elwyn is mentally okay. So I'm going on Google Maps, and I'm sort of planning a route west because I knew I was going to shut my phone off. So I'm planning a route southwest through New York, and I'm writing it down on a Post-it note, which the Post-it note that was still in the car, so you could literally see the route that I took. But I write it down on the Post-it note, and then 3, I call my parents.
Who do you speak to specifically?
So specifically, I call my mom, and I don't tell her anything specifically what happened. I just tell her that I shot Caytlyn, that the girls were okay, that I was going to go dark for a little bit, as in turn my phone off, specifically because I didn't want anyone to find us at that point. I wasn't trusting anyone else to make sure that my girls were okay in that moment. Like, I was the only one that could make sure that my girls were okay. So I didn't want to be found at that moment. So anyways, I'm telling my mom this, and I'm telling her, hey, you also need to call the cops to make sure that they know what happened. And that was the extent of the conversation. I didn't tell her anything more than that.
Which of your parents did you think would call the cops?
I mean, I guess I would assumed it would be my dad, you know, especially as a retired deputy. I mean, I assumed he would be the one to do it.
What did you do after you talked to your mom?
So at this point, this is where I did turn off my phone. And again, I just started driving southwest. So I drove kind of throughout the night, and made it somewhere into New York. To where it was specifically at a Love's gas station. And again, you could figure out where exactly I was from the Post-it note that I wrote down, like the directions on the Post-it note. You could find this gas station. But anyways, so I stopped there. I parked up. There was a gate or a fence in front of me, pulled up to that, and that was overlooking the freeway. Just pulled up to that, and then just the girls and I slept in the back seat and just slept for the night.
What did you do when you woke up?
So we woke up, everyone, again, Ellen seemed good. She just seemed like her happy self. I mean, we go into the gas station. I mean, we're using the restroom there. Where her interactions with Valen were all good, and everything seemed like she was acting normal, completely fine. We had breakfast there, and this is really at the point to where, because one of the things I was thinking of doing was to drive all the way back to Minnesota to get my kids to my parents, because no one knows my kids better than my parents. No one has been more involved with my kids than my parents. So they were my first thought of who could take care of them. So I was thinking of, okay, well, maybe I'll drive all the way back to Minnesota. But again, that seemed like a bad idea because just with the two girls, I mean, specifically with Valen too, being so young, it just didn't seem like a good idea. But to get back to it, Ellen specifically, again, she just seemed fine. She kept saying that, yeah, she's okay. And her interaction specifically with Valen, her interaction specifically with me, she seemed like her same old self. And this is really at the point to where I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to drive all the way back to Minnesota. I should probably turn myself in at some police station